Hey everybody, welcome to another 12 FPS. I'm Uni. I'm playing Zan the Wizard, and I'm joined by my super cool friend who I've wow, it's so weird. We've never done a 12 FPS together before, huh?
Can you even imagine? Ugh, it's gonna be wild, I'll tell you what. I'm not. Hi, and I'm playing Blink Lightly. You know him.
The limp with feelings.
He's just a little boy.
Little boy. And so to sort of set the scene, um Blink, at what point did you actually come to Zan with the idea of what you wanted to do?
Well, I think it's been the kind of thing that has been, like, kind of floating for a long time, because if you remember, it was, like, more than a year ago now that this was first mentioned,
Mm.
and, sometimes you have to go through your own stuff and work through your things and your friend has, like, other people's problems to deal with, like 5 other problems that they keep getting sidetracked and called to go do that thing. Um, so I think it's probably, like, after Animus, after the winter holidays,
Mm-hmm.
um, that stuff has kinda calmed down and you kind of slide into those early weeks of the year.
Yeah,
Um,
that tracks. Um, and I will say, like, Zan has been sort of like when it first came up, he was just like, "Yes, of course I will help," and then it never happened. So he's just been obviously he has been busy, but he's has also just been like at the ready for whenever Blink will come to him.
oh, yeah. So I think
um
I think do you wanna role play this
yeah.
portion where
Yeah, let's do.
because I think, Blink probably and if it's winter, Zan's probably in his study. He's not even gonna be outside because it's cold out there.
Hmm.
Um, so he
Then
probably, like oh,
uh,
sorry.
I will say for the flavors, Zan has been like working on making like a bunch of new sort of like magical infused fabric. So there's
Nice.
lots of cloth everywhere, giving it a cozy feel. Um,
Lovely. Well, I think Blink just, like, knocks on the door, like, "Knock, knock." Um, and, like, whether or not he gets a response, he'll kind of, like, open it a little bit, stick his head through.
and looks up and gives him a smile, but then also is like goes back into his thing because he was doing a little bit of weaving at that moment. But he goes, "Hello, Blink. Come on in. What did you need?"
"Okay, hi, Zan. How you doing?"
Ah, keeping busy as usual. How have you been?
"Okay, um, so, we did a bunch of things, um"
Like like is sort of stammering through this, and like he puts down his work, like, oh, Blake wants to have a talk. Okay.
Yep, just nailing it. Um, so yeah, we helped out the people that sketch art and dealt with all of that stuff in Ruindal. Um,
You
do you
want
do you think?
to?
Yeah, can I tell you about my friend?
Yes. Yes, if you're ready, I'd happy to listen. Um, Come here, have a seat.
Oh yeah, I'm like, what is Zan having there? Like a little like a little couch.
Yeah, yeah. He's got like squishy chairs.
Excellent. Yeah.
And Zan will step away from
Blink is,
his
like, so
workspace to
awkward with
like
this,
sit
god.
across from him, and yeah, Blink is awkward, but Zan is just like he's very patient. He's waiting, like he knows the reason it's taken this long is because it's a hard thing for Blink to talk about.
Yeah. Um, he's definitely, like, picked up something from the room and is now fiddling with it, as is his, habit, um,
As he is wont.
as he does. Um, and I think he's just goes into, like, a "Okay, well, I know that one of the things that magic can do is, you can find someone, I think? Um,
More or less, I can scry on people to see their immediate surroundings.
yeah, um, so I was, wondering if we could try that, 'cause Columba knows about Casey, and uh, I'll tell you the truth, I don't love that. It's not
No,
ideal.
no, that's not great. Um, well, I I can absolutely help you with that. But in order to do that, um, well, why don't you tell me about Casey?
Okay. I mean, what do you wanna know? Um, they're tall, or maybe that's just because I was small. Um,
Well, um, would you be able to draw a picture of them, or even just tell me about what they were like when you knew them?
oh, if I had known that he was gonna ask Blink to draw a picture, I would have drawn a picture for this. I'll probably do it afterwards. Um, I mean, I think, yeah, Blink probably well, let me do a hammer space roll, right? Reach into the
Mm-hmm.
hammer space because it's fun. Where's my hammer space fumble chart? Because and Blink says something like, "Oh, this will help." Um, yeah, and he just reaches in and gets like a pad of paper and like a it's a pen.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of Zan's pens.
Of course it is.
He has so many.
He just stole so many.
He stole so many pens. I'm imagining Blake like pulls out like one of Zan's pens and he's like, oh, he hands it over to Zan. He goes and gets something else and he pulls out, oh, it's another one of Zan's pens. Okay, he hands that one over to Zan. And he like pulls out another one and it's still one of Zan's pens and he's like, okay, all right. He's just gonna use that for for this.
Oh, I
Um
love it.
and gosh, Blink draws a fairly fairly androgynous figure with straight, long hair that's pulled back, uh, into, like, a ponytail. I mean, they are in the picture, they have a little smile, and,
I will
I
say,
don't know, more or less.
maybe roll, I don't know. I guess maybe performance just to see like how good the picture comes out.
Mhm. And I think he's probably kind of talking as he goes because that's what you do.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a 6,
Oh, so
but
you know,
he
yeah,
does his best. I mean, there's information to be gained.
absolutely, 100%.
I think he gosh, he probably talks about, like, yeah, oh man, I could get, like I think he's, like, he's doing one of the hands, and he probably says something "Oh, yeah, they had a scar on this hand on their, ring finger. This was before I was around, but they said they weren't paying attention, so they told me to always pay attention when I'm working with stuff."
Hmm.
It's like little things like that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and Zan is very, for the most part, just listening quietly. Occasionally, he'll ask a sort of follow-up question on details that Blink mentions. Um, and after a certain point, um, he goes, "You must really miss them, don't you?"
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's it's been a long time. I miss them a lot, but sometimes it's hard to remember.
And Zan just like he does a little like shoulder clasp of just being like he doesn't say it, but oh God, he cares you so much.
Hmm.
um uh and after a bit you sort of finish your drawing, and Zan looks it over, and you rolled a 6 on your drawing, so
I think Blink, like, also looks it over and he goes, "This looks nothing like them."
and Zan he does chuckle a little bit, and he goes, "Well, you've still told me plenty of stories, so that will help." Um, and he gets up and he starts rummaging through some of the drawers and sort of baskets of supplies, um, before finally remembering where he put his focus. And you've probably seen it before. It's this like sort of older hand mirror that he's like uses to shave in the morning sometimes. um
He's like,
so
"Oh,
like
it's in
of
the
course.
bathroom. I gotta
Yeah,
go
yeah,
get it by the sink."
yeah, it's like of course. Silly. And he comes out with it and sort of sits down on the floor, legs crossed, and looks at you, and he sort
Blink
of
also sits down on the floor, legs crossed.
Zan sort of holds out a hand to Blink, um, and says, "Are you ready?"
Oh, yeah, should I he, like, looks around. He doesn't know what to do. Um,
Um, and it says, "You don't need to do anything. I will cast the spell, and well, we'll see what happens. There's no guarantee it will work the first time, but we can keep trying,
okay. Yeah, we can try again if it doesn't work.
of course." um, he will
He
close.
does take Zan's hand, by the way.
Yes, good. Zan gives him a squeeze. Zan closes his eyes and murmurs some words that you can't quite make out. Uh, and the mirror starts to shine. And I will ask you, I don't expect you to have a character sheet for Casey, but all the same, I need you to make a wisdom save.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna say they probably have a pretty average
Okay.
wisdom score. Let me just check.
And I will say because the picture didn't come out great and Zen only knows Casey secondhand, they have a +5 to whatever else you sort of
Yeah, they
yeah.
super do. Just rolling D20. I'm gonna say they have like average wisdom because that seems right. They're
Mm-hmm.
closest to an artificer in like build, which means they have definitely high intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have a question. Is it +5 total? Or was it like I'm
Um
trying to remember how this spell works. It's a
it's
complex
plus
spell.
it's if it's secondhand, they have a +5, and if Zan had gotten a good picture or anything that had belonged to
Oh,
them,
yeah.
there would have been
Yeah.
minuses, but yeah.
No, that's good. That's fine. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's a 9 total.
Okay, great. Um,
Oh my god.
what that means is I get to roll this. All right.
Oh my god. You did this that it is random. Oh my god. I was like, I don't know what Uni's planning. You you didn't. Or you did, but
Well, I did. I planned for both
you did, but you
situations.
Oh god. Okay.
um and yeah, the mirror lights up and Zan's eyes open, but they are not seeing you at all, Blink. They
Yeah.
glowing golden, and it is probably pretty unnerving for you as for just like a solid 10 minutes or so Zan just seems to be like you can see his eyes moving around and taking something in.
Mm.
Um, and do me a favor, roll a quick insight check.
Yeah, let's go. Because Blink doesn't get to actually see any of this, which is
No, he doesn't.
tragic.
Zan will relate it all to him after it is completed.
All right. 12.
12. You get the sense after a certain point there's a shift in Zan's expression, but you can't quite make out
Hmm.
what it is. But you can tell he definitely saw something that he reacted to. Um,
I mean,
and yeah,
Can I even get like a positive or negative?
I would if it were entirely it's a mix.
Damn.
Yeah. Um,
Okay.
maybe more of a like just sort of sur- like confusion or surprise kind of thing.
Oh
Um,
boy, that's
yeah.
fun. Well, Zan's
Um,
if Zan did not need his other hand while doing this, Blink has probably been like after the first like full minute, he's probably just like moving Zan's hand around. Like looking back up at him
yeah,
and
yeah,
like moving his hand around again. I don't know. That kind of thing that you do when you're idle and you need to be doing something.
absolutely. And yeah, it's maybe a slightly nerve-wracking 10 minutes before um the light of the mirror sort of flickers and fades and Zan blinks and um Uh, he uses his other hand to just sort of like rub his eyes to like adjust and like, okay. Oh, haven't done that in a bit. And he looks down at you, Blink, and goes, well, um,
God, the look in Blink's face is almost unreadable.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
But like not because he's like hiding something, because he's like, what's the word? My brain says anticipatory, but I don't think that's a word.
It's a word. It's a word.
He doesn't. He doesn't know. He doesn't
Doesn't
know.
know what he's about to get answered. Um,
I'm just,
yes, and
he
gives
does like look at Zan, make eye contact though.
Zan gives Blink's hand another squeeze and says, "Well, we've certainly got something." Um, and he will move back to the squishy chair, uh, just so they could be comfortable. There's enough room for Blink to squeeze it next to him if he wants.
Yes.
um, and
What
say,
what is what is something? What does something mean?
well, um, they were part of a caravan, it seemed. Uh, it was mostly real kind people. I can't be sure because there were a large number of people talking, but judging by the accent, I would guess still on Furuma. Um, I believe it was Casey who was riding on one of the wagons beside the driver. Um, it almost seemed as if they were sleeping through the whole thing, but there were some interactions, people who came up and spoke with the driver about what to do next, which route to take, and the driver always seemed to glance at Casey before giving an answer.
Was it was it Casey? Casey? Or I guess you probably don't know that.
I I can't
Hmm.
say for sure. Um, they didn't speak the whole time, but they did. Uh, they seemed at ease. And then he bites his lip, sort of debating, and I don't know if it's just me putting something due to knowing about Konba and knowing what she's done, and that maybe made me look for something that maybe wasn't there, but
I mean Blink is just watching Zan's face.
they they seemed so calm and at ease, and yet everyone around them seemed very anxious and uncertain. And it was only for, that stretch of road that they were walking down that I saw them. And I don't, I didn't see enough to be sure. All I have is my gut, and it hasn't
Hmm.
always served me well.
Hmm. I think Blink does like just kind of go into a thinking silence for a little while. Huh. Well, well, we have some information, so that's good. And I never thought about what to do next.
Mm. Well,
I didn't think I'd get this far.
it is certainly a start. Um, if you want, we can try and get more information tomorrow or another day.
And Blink like I guess Blink's like that did not occur to him. This was a thing that you could do more than once.
Yeah, yeah. It's Zed sort of like sees that moment of surprise, and he smiles a little bit. There's still a little bit of nerves in his expression, but he goes, I can only do it once a day on a person, but um yes, if you want to try and know more, we can give it another shot another day.
I think Blink does like the like nods his head slowly and then a little faster.
Hmm.
And he takes like a big breath. The kind that like when you don't know you're holding your breath for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
just breathes. I think gives Zan a hug.
yeah, Zan
And
gives
he
him a hug
says,
back,
Thank you."
of course. And yeah, he gives gives Blink a squeeze and goes, I was thinking of making some hot chocolate. Would you like some?
Oh, Blink brightens right up.
And so that's sort of what they do to uh light the mood after this tension.
Hey,
Tension.
man.
Uh
It's real.
um I don't know
Part of me
if
is like, does
yeah.
Blink ask more questions to Zan about what he saw? Because I'm I have a couple things Blink might ask about.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can be like while they're drinking their hot cocoa, or even just later in the evening, Blink thinks to ask something. Um since we're covering an expansive time here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably like after they've drank most of the hot cocoa, but before they like have parted ways again for the
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
doing their
yeah.
own thing again. And I think Blink does the thing where he just kind of like, hmm, I'm trying to think of like how he would. No, he straight up just out of nowhere goes, "Do they have any tunes with them? You said they were in Faruma."
Um yes, I believe that's likely where they were.
Probably, yeah.
Um and then you could tell he's just like thinking and trying to remember, and
Oh yeah.
finally sort of shakes his head and says, I couldn't see the entire caravan, only a small space around Casey, but I only saw real kind in their immediate vicinity.
Hmm. Okay. Did they what what did they look like?
Um, well, um, and you see that weird expression pass over Zan's face again. Um, well, getting some feedback from you, Mock.
What, really?
Yeah, sort of
Still?
windy noise. Um,
Still? Or did that
no,
stop?
it stopped. It
I think
stopped.
I was breathing.
Oh.
Sorry.
um,
I'm like hunched over. I'm like in it right now.
don't stop breathing. Just maybe not into the mic. um,
Okay.
but yeah, Zan, like he has this again this sort of tense and confused expression for a moment. He goes, "Well, the driver of the caravan with him was a dwarven woman. Um, and the main person who I saw come up was an older an older half elf woman. Um, I think she may have been a mercenary of some sort to protect them. She asked about which route to take to avoid bandits. And it's again, I could only see a few people around, but I think Casey may have been the one of the youngest people there. Um,
Huh.
um, he uh, he bites at his lip a little bit, and then um, gives Blink a small smile and says, "I'm really sorry. I couldn't see a whole lot more past that."
Oh, don't be sorry about that. I appreciate anything that you can tell me. It's you know it's not like you can do more than that. Uh, and maybe we can find out a little more tomorrow.
Yes, yes, I think we can.
Was their hair still long?
It was, yeah. They had it in a braid.
I think Blink does a little smile, like with that mental image. I think that's a good enough place as any to wrap up that conversation, unless you had another specific thing.
Yeah, yeah. That'll do. Um, so I think for the next day, um, again, Zan Zan waits like until whatever time of day Blake is ready. So if Blake wants to do it first thing in the morning, they can. If Blake needs some time to like work up the nerve in the afternoon. Um,
Hmm. It's a great question. He's enough of a morning person. They could probably do it in the morning.
all
Not
right.
like super early, like right first thing waking up. Like,
Mm-hmm. Get some breakfast in them, and then
yeah, I guess, yeah.
um and then they sit down again to try again. And I honestly don't know if like now that Zan has seen Casey, does Casey still get the same save as before.
I think they still get the +5 because it's not really first-hand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you
Yeah.
haven't met them.
Mm-hmm.
I
All right.
do This is something that Zan did not ask about, so I don't know if Blink would know to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
He does have a possession,
Ah. Um,
or at least something that used to be a possession, if you think about
right.
it like that.
Right. Um, I think for this one, Zan will just try again as is. Uh, so
Okay.
yeah, maybe roll another whiz save on Casey.
Yeah, let's go. Casey, roll bad again. And this is a +5, yeah.
15
15.
still does not make it, so hurrah.
Nice.
And let's see. All right. um and again, you go
For
through.
the purposes of the audio, because I don't know if it's clear, Uni's rolling a d2
Yeah,
after
yeah.
each of these, presumably to determine what is seen in the scry, and I'm like, so fucking, oh god.
um and yeah, the 10 minutes pass, and um when Zan comes out of it, um Blink, you might be a little bit concerned. He looks a little bit disappointed.
Oh,
um, but he goes, well, time zones take it into account. Most everyone
oh,
was asleep this time. um,
oh.
but
He's like, I didn't consider that.
yeah.
Thinking about it.
Uh, and Zan says, it was. Mm, most everyone was asleep, but Casey wasn't.
Oh,
And
well, what were they doing?
I might have. They were just staring into the fire, and they they didn't move at all for
Oh,
the whole
blinking. Did they
time.
blink?
Um, and like Xana actually has to think about it for a second. Did Casey blink? Does certainly not as often as you think someone would looking into a
Hmm.
fire.
Blink does not have like a specific like line of questioning. He just asks questions as they come to him.
Of course, yeah. That's Blink. um,
Does
um,
your does you does you get to see like around
um,
at like other people, or were they camping in front of a sign that says the town name?
oh, if only the indicators could be so clear. Um,
Ah,
I yeah, it was a woody area. They had set up camp, presumably a ways off the road. Um, I could see a number of people in their sleeping roles, but I'm sorry. I Like you could tell Xana's really trying to think
Oh.
of like more details to help you go off of.
Hmm. That's okay. I guess we'll have to try a later time next time. And I think Blink, let me see if I can get him out of hammer space again. Okay.
Pulls out a pen.
Hang on, hold on, hang on. It's a pen. Yeah, he pulls out a pen. Hands it to Zan.
Oh God, Santa's just like he didn't even remember having this many pens, and
He
yet.
pulls out another pen. I have to start keeping track of like how many pens Blink has pulled out of his hammer space.
Oh my God.
It's another pen.
Oh my God.
Okay, hang on. That is. Oh, that's a stepladder.
Okay.
So he's just like, here's a pen, here's a pen, here's. I think he hands the stepladder to Zan as he's just been handing things to Zan. Here, hold this. Uh, nope, I'm not gonna do the pens again. Um, that is a clown outfit. Hands that to Zan. Zan's hands are probably very full.
Yeah, he
He like
just
tosses
got
it. It
stuff
drapes over
draped
the top of the
over. Yeah.
stepladder. Oh god. Uh huh. He pulls out a working cuckoo clock. It's probably the top of the hour, so of course it goes off.
Of course, of
Puts that
course.
on top of the pile of things that Zan has. Okay. Uh, and okay, so he actually pulls out a little pocket watch and looks at it. He could have done this with the cuckoo clock. I
Yeah,
realized in
he
this
could
exact
have,
moment,
but then
but that wasn't what he was looking for.
right.
He didn't think to do it. Zan might have this thought of why didn't you just look at the. Doesn't matter. That's not the
No,
point.
no. Oh,
Um,
Blake, darling.
and like checks the time and like you can tell he's like mentally noting it before he like puts it back in his hammer space, and probably also like holds out his hands so Zan can pass him back his other random shit.
Is it just like carefully like rolls the cuckoo clock into Blake's hands?
Excellent. I don't think Blink thinks of it. I don't think he like makes any comment or notice that there was actually another clock involved.
Amazing. Oh God.
Who knows? Maybe the other clock was wrong,
Could be. Could be.
or maybe
Broken
his
cuckoo
maybe
clock
his
seems
watch is
like
wrong.
something he would also keep around, so that
That's why it's
tracks.
in his hammer space.
Uh-huh. Um and with that taken care of, Zan uh Zan will ask Blink if he's up for helping with the gardening. All the snow needs to get, cleared out of his garden before everything gets frostbitten.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he was still like doing actual garden. I guess he's got like a little kind of greenhouse area or something.
Yeah, I mean, he has tried to set up the garden area to protect it from the worst of the winter, but like he
Hmm.
grows a lot of his food there. He needs to keep it
I
going.
mean, it's fair.
Get
It's fair.
some winter squash and whatnot.
Yeah, they could do that. They do that.
Um yeah, they do that. And we can skip forward to the next day.
Yeah, let's go.
So
Later in the day.
later in the day this time. They
Maybe
they
they
wait a few more hours.
This one's after lunch. They had lunch. First one was after breakfast, second one's after lunch.
Yep. Yep, yep. They had some tasty sandwiches and then settle in for the next round.
Blink, like,
Um
takes out his little pocket watch again, checks it,
and
notes the time.
yeah, because things have worked well so far, it still has not occurred to Zan to ask about personal belonging. So,
No, it's totally fine, it's good.
yeah. Make the wisdom save. Yeah.
11. God,
All right.
it's another 2. What does this mean? I'm like,
um
"What?" I wanna know now, like, what does the 1 do? I mean, I have ideas, but, like, hello?
hmm, maybe one day we'll get the other 50%. Who can say?
I mean, Blink pulled out 3 pens in a row.
Yeah, yeah. That's the struggle sometimes. Um this time Zan comes out of it and he goes, "Okay. Okay." He
Were
stands
they
up.
awake?
Yes, yes, they were. And he is like kind of jumped up and grabbed his own sort of pad of paper to sort of like, I think I got
Blink
some.
hands him a pen.
Thank you, Blake. Um, I got more. I don't know if it's a lot, but it looked like they made it into a town, probably. They were indoors this time.
Mm.
Um, uh, he chews on his lip again, just sort of like uh, writing down details. It's like it was um stone building. It was I could hear the sounds of conversation through the door. So it seemed like it must have been a fairly populated area, but their room was um smaller and quiet, and they were they were talking with someone. They were making some sort of trade deal. Um, and he furrows his brow and um looks up at Blink. Casey.
Oh, Blink has started creating a conspiracy board on the opposite wall. It's
Casey
mostly just, like,
was
he doesn't have any, like, actual pictures of anything. I
right,
think he
right.
does use his, like, not good picture of Casey in the middle for the web.
um and
Like,
it's
he catches Blink, like, as he was reaching out to, like, tie the red string around a different spot, and Blink, like, just freezes, looks back at Zan.
Casey was is an inventor of sorts, right?
Yeah, I mean, they dabbled.
Hmm. It oh. Well, it certainly seems they've got some success as a merchant at this point, going off of what I've gotten so far. Um, oh, I hadn't been sure before, but it seems rather like they more or less in charge of the caravan. I guess, which
Hmm.
is impressive. And again, he's just like got his brow furrowed and is thinking very hard. And oh God, of course, there's no signage.
No one said like, "I'll see you at uh city town square."
Mm. Oh, he's thinking there were some terms used that I didn't recognize. I don't know. I It could have been colloquialisms that I just don't know, or it could have been code for something. I'll need to do some research to
Were
identify.
the what were the words?
Ah,
And,
shit, you're gonna
you don't
put
have
me
to
on the
say any.
spot.
No,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. I'm not gonna put you on the spot. You can just say he says whatever words,
Yeah.
but I don't know if this is relevant. It's never come up
Hmm.
before.
Right.
But Blink does have proficiency in Thieves' Cant.
Ah. Uh-huh.
You can tell me if it's not relevant.
Um,
Totally good if it isn't, you know.
Zan, he recounts some of it, and most of it doesn't fire off any familiarity with you. But Zan pauses for a moment, and then like he keeps working on things, and then after a minute or two he sort of perks up and goes, "Oh, it didn't even occur to me at the time. The first time, when he was asked for uh, some advice on the caravan, they mentioned something that um and he like haltingly and recalls something. Uh, Blink one more time. Make an insight check for me.
Sure. As far as the Thieves' Cant goes, I just wanted to like Blink probably doesn't know like specific like local colloquialisms,
Well, yeah.
but if there are like general terms, like what's the word? If it's like 1920s, like whatever we would recognize as like like speakeasy speak or whatever, like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of thing that is more often used. Yeah. 13.
13.
One better than last time.
Yeah. He's again, he looks a little conflicted, anxious as he's recounting. But yeah, he mentions that the apparent mercenary who asked for advice and like quotes what she asked, and you're like, oh, that does set off, that does sound thieves canty. um
Hmm.
and yeah, they're like, as he's sort of like trying his best to remember like the snippets he's gotten, um there's just little things that sound like they maybe could be, but again, different dialects, different terms, you're not
Hmm.
sure. But Zan, he's just like, again, it's one of those things where he's on edge and worried that he might be seeing things where they aren't. But Zan, you can tell he feels like something shady is happening.
That's, I mean, yeah.
And again, Zan has put his trust or distrust in the wrong people before, so he can't trust his own judgment.
Oh, I'm sorry, Zan.
Oopsie doops.
I mean, I think Blink probably does the it's cute because it's this basically the same thing that Zan said to him before of like, we can try again.
Yes. You're right. Um,
Well, tomorrow.
tomorrow. Um, then he he pauses for a moment and again looks at Blink and says, "You know, if even if we do get a specific location, they are. It seems that Casey is moving around a lot. We, well, what do you have any thoughts on what you'll do if we do figure out where they are?"
And this is like, I think like before Blink does have the realization of like, oh, I did not think this far ahead. You know, you put so much effort into getting to a certain place, and then it's like, well, here now.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Like I'm not like that's not even like a role that you have to play. Like that's just what Blink's. It's very apparent on his face. He's
right.
just like, oh, hmm, that's a really good question. Talk to them.
Then he nods. He just nods. And says, "Yes, I. That's as good a place as any." Um, and with that, do you want to skip ahead to the next day?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Make that wisdom save, baby.
Are we saying this is around the same time, or do they want to try an after dinner for just for fun?
It's up to Blink.
Hmm. I mean, it seemed like stuff was happening when they did it this first time, so
Yeah.
maybe stuff will be happening again. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. 25
Oh, that's
natural
a nat
20.
20.
We do not.
Yeah, this time,
Casey has their fucking defenses up today.
yeah, Zan just like he sits down, and the mirror just like does absolutely nothing. And Zan, blinks and frowns, blinks at Blink, um,
Oh, I know.
and, says, ah, um, hmm. Uh, didn't didn't work today for whatever
Oh,
reason. Um, all right.
huh.
Well, it doesn't always get through.
Okay.
Um, and there's just like we don't even need to like dwell on it, but I think there's just this sort of like between the two of you, this disappointed vibe of like, oh God, we were finally getting something, and now it's,
I was adding conspiracies to the board,
yeah, yeah.
which has not come down from Zan's wall.
Of course not.
Blink probably moved most of the fabric out of the way. Probably.
Probably.
There
Um,
definitely is a red thread that wasn't being used that he has co-opted for this use.
Red thread has some sparkly thread mixed in it because
Yep.
that's part of it. Um,
No, it's fine.
jump to next day.
Next day, go. Should I just roll it, or are we
Let's
gonna?
just freaking do it. Let's just go for it.
This is really funny to me. I think Blink has probably started, like, keeping a little notebook as well.
Mhm.
So he does the thing where, he checks his watch, writes down the time. He started to get real scientific with it.
Hmm. All
12.
right. Let's see.
Roll your D2.
A 1.
A 1. It's
Then
different.
it is different. This time then you can tell just like from like Zan's expression, like as it goes on, is just more and more confused as the time goes on. And when he comes out of it, he goes, "Well, that was different." And
D
he,
d different how? Were they somewhere else?
um,
Um,
definitely somewhere else.
were they in danger?
And he looks a little bit. He looks just hesitant to say anything, and then finally just says, "I couldn't see anything. It was dark. Um, I could,
The mirror lit up.
yes, I could hear things.
Oh,
I could hear rushing water at a distance, and sometimes I could make out footsteps echoing, but it was it was pitch dark."
oh. Blake is, like, processing this. Well, why would why would Casey wanna go somewhere dark?
Um,
Unless they were testing a light spell. No, they probably would have done something in the 10 minutes.
they, well, I got, it's hard to, it's hard to place, but I got the feeling that they were moving just from the sounds of things. So I guess they were traveling through the darkness. Perhaps they needed, I guess they just needed to pass through there unnoticed or something.
I mean, hmm. Blink takes another, whatever, Post-it note and probably another pen and colors it in, all black and puts it somewhere on the conspiracy board.
Next clue, dark.
Were they hmm, how big was the town? Like, would it have a underground system or would it,
Well, I only saw
oh, yeah.
the inside of the building. I couldn't say.
Blink is, going off.
It's certainly possible that they were
Hmm.
underground somewhere with running water. There was maybe A stream or something nearby?
Huh.
Yeah, and Xana is also just like
Yeah, they're both just
they're
stumped.
yeah, both of them are just
They just
writing
both sit
notes
and have a
and
think.
frustrated and thinking, doing a big old think.
Yeah, these boys be thinking.
Everyone
Okay.
doing a thunk emoji.
I'm just curious, has Nari had anything specific to say in
Nari
any of these
has
instances?
um she has definitely like piped in a couple of times, and you're not linked in, so you have to rely on Zan's just sort of mutterings to her. But
Does Nari ever do the like, "Oh, tell him this. Tell him I said this."
she would like, yeah, she'll occasionally just like, don't keep it all to yourself, he's trying to. Um
Oh,
yeah, just because and getting caught up in his brain. It's like I'm
like when
just
you're on the phone with someone and then someone in the other room is like, "Oh, tell them I said hi."
yeah, yeah. Um she probably has just like popped up with like, oh, ask Blink about this. Maybe it could be this thing, and just like more questions, trying to get more insight from Blink on Casey. Um,
Yeah. Oh, Blink probably doesn't know a lot of the answers.
oh, baby. Or even just her coming up with ideas, being like, oh, could it be this? Oh, what if it's maybe, and it just like her.
What if they fell down a hole and are in the Underdark?
Honestly, yeah, she's coming up with just like
I've heard it's pretty dark under there.
she's coming up with conspiracy theories that are even more just like completely outlandish than anything you've got. Because like she
Kidnapped
does,
by aliens.
she 1,000% does get that this is serious, and she is concerned for you and your friend. But also this is, she's a little bit popcorning.
I mean, I would just take it as she's probably being 100% serious with these excellent ideas.
Hmm.
For sure. For reals.
Absolutely. um yeah. uh
Nari's never fallen down a hole before. She doesn't know.
it's true.
For all
She
she knows, you could do that. That could happen.
and yeah, she's like, the fans watching a TV show and coming up with, oh, what'll happen next episode.
Yeah, I bet. She gets these daily though, so I don't have to wait a week.
Yeah, yeah. um oh god, do we jump ahead one more day? I think we are running a
We are
little
slightly
long.
over time.
Yeah. But we can give one more go at this
Okay.
bad boy.
If you want to do one more go, we can do one more
Yeah.
go. Should I? I've been kind of hinting at this. Um, does Anne want a possession?
I think this time Zen is like a little bit exasperated with having failed one day and then the next day just being like a complete freaking mystery. And I think before they sit down to the next one, he will go, I should have asked, would you have would you have happened to have anything that belonged to Casey in the past? It might help my
Oh,
focus.
yeah, just 1 second. And he like writes down his time. He checks his pocket watch, writes down the time, and then hands Anne the watch.
God. Oh my god. Xan just like looks at the watch and looks up at
They
Blink.
they left it they left it behind the last time.
Oh. I see. Um, and Zan sort of like clutches it. And he's gotten in this habit of like he holds it in one hand. He has the mirror in front of him, and he takes your hand with his free one and squeezes.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know
and
how closely Zan wants to look at it, but if he does, he can tell that it's been, the word that my brain is applying is, like, tampered with, but that's not what I mean. Like, it's been repaired.
mm, mm,
Not with
been
the
it's
same
been
hand not with the same hand that probably built it.
uh-huh.
It's not sloppy, but you can see, like, where, like, something had to be pried open that, like, it leaves that little indent that, like, if someone like,
Right.
whoever built it was probably better at doing it than whoever repaired it.
Oh. Yeah, Zan absolutely sort of takes a moment to like he's holding your hand, Blake, but he is also just sort of like studying the pocket watch very closely for a minute or two.
Maybe one
Both
of the hands is different
yeah.
than the rest of the style.
He just sort of carefully sort of runs his thumb over every little dent and scratch that may have been put in it. Um and takes a deep breath, says, "All right. Let's see what we can see." Um and make one more save. Now he's only got a +1. They've only
Yep.
got a +1. Yeah.
4.
Ooh, a 4. Definitely, absolutely. And let's see what we've got. A 1. All right.
Okay. Okay.
This time, Zan watches, and I won't even make you do an insight check this time. At one point, there's just like a expression of uh confusion and surprise that passes over, and that's like it's pretty close to the end of the 10-minute time, so
Mhm.
when he comes back he just like he straight up just goes, God, Jesus Christ, okay.
Who's that?
Who is just
Jesus Christ.
yeah, he's a cool wizard that Zan once knew.
Oh, yeah.
No, and Zan goes, well, I certainly have a lead of sorts. This the and then puts down the pocket watch and looks at Blink, and oh, he just again another deep breath.
You know that Blink is vibrating because he, like, wants to ask a bunch of questions to see if, like, what it like, did you see was it the town sign? Did you see did they say where they were going? Did they do, like but he's quiet. He's waiting.
Um, it was they were in an alleyway. I don't know if it was the same town. Um, but I didn't at first I thought perhaps it was a mistake, or I had gotten distracted and focused on the wrong thing. Um, it seemed like no one was there. Uh, until I realized there were animals hidden in the alley.
I'm like, "Does Blink put this together?" Probably, right? He's gotta.
He probably would.
Blink's got enough together to do that. Hmm.
Um,
I'm like, "God, how do you even respond to that?" 'Cause the wild thing, like, it was already in the realm of possibility for what like, he knew conceptually. It's different to have it confirmed.
yeah, yeah. Um,
So, yeah, like, Zan can keep talking, but it does take Blink a second to, like, come back to the conversation.
right. Um, and he says they all seemed to be waiting for something. There were at least a dozen different animals around, I think, from what I could see. Uh, there was it took me some time to figure out. I think the Scry was focused on a cat, russet russet colored fur. Um, they had some nicks in their ears. Uh, and he just sort of like chews at his lip for a moment because like yeah this has gotta be rough.
Well, no, more like meow. Jokes.
um
Did
and
did 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 you I know that it's limited. Did you hear anything or see any? Do you know where they were?
and Zan takes a big deep breath and he goes, I have an idea. um they were waiting in front of a door on this alleyway, and right towards the end someone came out, gave them food, and it was um it was someone I recognized. So if we can contact her, we'll we'll have a very very good direction to go in.
Okay. 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 I think Blink just goes in for another hug because that's a lot.
Yeah, and Zan holds him very close, very gentle.
Gentle like hamburger.
Gentle like lamp burger.
And yeah, I mean Blink just he just goes like, Thank you, thank you for your help." Uh,
Like I'm and he just like he starts to say something and then he just decides not to and just he just holds the boy.
that's good. We could end this one on another hug. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, we can end it there. um
Oh, excellent. Great. They
Yay.
sure are.
Thanks for listening, friends.
Thanks for listening. Farewell for now.
Bye.
Bye.